and that just maybe comedy content in general, especially content that's being put out by comedians today. And I mean, that's a large portion I watch on Netflix. A large portion I watch right now is like comedy specials, or their YouTube commentaries, or about personalities, and they have certain topics and views and ideas. And I would say recently there's been a lot of comedians out there that, let's go ahead and talk about this. We didn't talk about this earlier, but what's his name? I just watched a special of him the other day. Redhead.
Loius CK.
Loius CK. So he did. Ooh. Do you remember this? Have you seen this?
His crime.
Well, he killed someone. No.
Yes. No, he moved to Louisiana.
No, he didn't. He didn't commit a crime. I mean,
he did commit a crime.
He didn't really commit a crime.
No, but you're talking about. I heard he had done his stand-up at his old place.
Yeah. So I guess the crime. He was jerking off in front of some chick or whatever.
Yeah. I read that in his apology.
And I guess it was another comedian, like another well-respected comedian.
No, I think it was
It wasn't. Or was it just?
It was like a girl who I think she was a comedian or is a comedian. Excuse me. She's not really, I don't think, well known. I'm not really sure. I forget. But he talked about. I remember in his apology, he said that he understands that he exploited his power over her because she was like awestruck. This is Loius CK,
Yeah.
So she was like, so he kind of like took advantage of her with that whole using like I'm Loius CK.
Yeah.
So he took her up to his hotel room and then he
did that whatever.
Made her He made her watch while he masturbated in front of her, and that was like probably horrible. And that messed her up. So that's what he talked about. He made an apology. He's like, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong.
Yeah.
But he pretty much said, like, his apology. I remember he said, I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong, but I did it. So.
I mean, yeah, I see where he was coming from.
Which I get, but I honestly, see, the thing is, like, he kind of somewhat tried to apologize, but he didn't. Just his, you know how he is, like, his attitude, just the way he is.
Yeah.
He just kind of, like, said, well, I did it. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. That's all I can say. Which, I mean, I get it. Really, you can't. There's nothing that can be done other than legal action. Which, I mean, I have no issue. Like, if they want to do that, they can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't take something like that back. And I don't think an apology. I mean, it's good, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change what you did.
It doesn't change, no. And there have been a lot of people, and recently he just came back in the news because I would say. It actually wasn't that recent. I would say maybe 2 weeks ago, he actually appeared in a comedy club.
Yeah, see, that's the one. That's one I heard about.
He's performing again.
It was the original. That's a club. That's one of the clubs he started off.
Okay.
And did you ever watch his show, Louis? I think it was on HBO.
No.
Well, Louis, his character.
Oh,
Louis.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, Louis,
okay.
Louis.
Yeah.
And he in the show. Remember, sometimes he goes back and does stand up.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like Seinfeld, isn't it? Kind of
like Seinfeld. They do that with Jerry Seinfeld in the beginning and end. Yeah. He shows them doing stand up. No, but it's like a brick wall place underground, like just a small little New York joint. But I saw that he went there, and my older sister was telling me about it. She said that the owner of that place was getting a lot of flack for allowing Loius CK to be back there. And the guy, and I mean, I get his defense. In his defense, he's like, hey, I got a business to run. He's like, I have a job. And it wasn't planned. Loius CK just showed up and said, hey, can I do a set? You mind if I do a set? And the guy's like, I guess, yeah. And the sets are about like 5 minutes, not that long. Yeah. But Louis did like you're saying, he did a 5-minute set, and the crowd liked it. Everybody.
Yeah, everyone. I heard he got a standing ovation or something like that. Yeah.
Everybody loved and he's a great comedian. That's the thing. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Just he did a horrible thing.
And there's been a lot of things like just because he made a mistake. I think he recognized that he made a mistake. He knows that he made a mistake. sure he's not going to do it again, you know?
Yeah.
And we shouldn't scrutinize him for it and then just completely kill his career. Something like getting back to, okay, I don't want to get back to that, but we'll go right back into, back to what we're talking about.
Problem.
But James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, he
had some tweets.
He had some really bad tweets. They were bad jokes. They were really bad jokes. Like they were terrible jokes.
I just saw like from like I didn't really see exactly what they were, but that's what I heard. They're just bad jokes.
Yeah, they were terrible jokes. They were not funny. They were just really like this edgy humor that was just
edgy,
it just feels like
I've said some edgy jokes.
Yeah, everyone has. Everyone has.
That's the thing,
And it's just like you can't ruin someone's career off of that. That's ridiculous.
Because
he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
And compare what he said to what he said to, for example, what Loius CK did or what, say, Kevin Spacey did. Now, what they did is that's bad stuff.
I probably wouldn't compare what Loius CK did to Kevin Spacey because Kevin Spacey, he's
in the realm of his
didn't he rape someone or something?
No. He didn't rape him. It was like a back
13-year-old or something.
Little 14-year-old dude. They had this huge party because at the time Kevin Spacey was doing Broadway. And so is this guy. This guy's a young actor. I forget. He's in a show nowadays.
Yeah.
But this was like the early 90s. And the kid was 14 and starring in the same show. So he was with that crowd of actors and rich, famous people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was like a party at Kevin Spacey's. And everybody was there and everything. And everyone was like doing their thing, having like a get-together party.
Yeah.
But what happened was like from the guy's account, he said that he was there after the party was over. He was still there. And he said, Kevin. No, so he said.
Irish. Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Let's go get a beer. Kevin Spacey.
You know what? Yeah. No.
I was like, where did I go? Okay, go ahead.
I spaced out. No. So
yeah, let's do that.
Kevin Spacey. This is a really dark topic, and we're just a mispronunciation of it.
We've been so serious this whole time, so something's got to break.
Kevin. I've been waiting to laugh.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. Oh. No. So Kevin Spacey, he was at that place, and that kid was there, like after.
Okay. I think this is serious.
Yeah, I'm serious about it too. But,
I don't know. But Daniel is still a child, so keep on going. Sorry.
So as a kid. But anyway, I'm just gonna say it, but I'm not laughing at what happened.
Yeah, this is not funny. This is not.
So what happened was the kid was there after hours. The party was done, and it was him and Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey gets the kid, he picks him up, takes him to a bedroom, lays the kid down, and then laid on top of him. Okay, we're not laughing at what he did.
Okay.
So, but
this looks bad. Go ahead.
So he got him, and he was drunk. That was Kevin Spacey, and that also goes back to his excuse, kind of, for what he did. So he said he was drunk, and he said he started trying to sexually advance on the kid, and the kid was 14, and he was like, whoa, I know what you're doing. No.
Yeah.
So the kid ended up he squirmed out, got away from him, and then he just left. He ran away and left. And
so Kevin, he didn't really do anything.
It's more like a sexual harassment, sexual assault sort of situation.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting about that is
go ahead, Thomas. We haven't heard from you.
When he came out with that, he ended up posting something on Twitter, coming out as gay.
Yeah.
And that really downplayed the actual.
I don't know if it downplayed. I feel like
I think it just made it.
That's what I thought it was.
It was so. It was.
I feel like
some.
Yeah.
He was trying to play it down for himself.
That's what. Yeah, that was his.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, "Okay, so now you're trying to downplay that," and everyone noticed that.
Everybody caught on, which is the cool
and it was
thing.
like,
everyone caught
whoa.
on like that.
Yeah, and it was like
so. He was trying to I think that was his way of because it literally.
She was like, "Yeah, okay, I understand the accusations and everything. By the way, guys, I'm gay." And then it was just kind of like,
yeah, I remember I don't remember his exact statement by words.
Yeah,
but what he said was he said something along the lines of.
Because I remember I remember reading it or watching.
Yeah, he tweeted. He had a reaction.
Yeah.
He said, "I am appalled and disgusted at what this kid's saying, what I did to him. But for the record, I was drunk at the time, I'm sure, and I don't remember it. Number one, but that's terrible to hear that happened to him. If that, I don't remember it. By the way, I think I should also let you guys all know I'm gay. So that was like. And I know what's it called? The gay community they really
did not like that.
They said that they're like, here he is. I was watching a video on it yesterday. Some guy like in an interview, I was watching just clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
And this one gay guy was saying, he said that's kind of like really bad move on him because here he is, like number one, like Tom's saying, he's trying to downplay it with saying, "Oh, I'm gay," so. Trying to throw that in. And then that dude said, but that just ties his like pedophile acts with the gay community, you know? Mm-hmm. This guy was saying like, that was like wrong of him to do that, which I agree, you know?
Yeah.
But I think originally we were talking about James Gunn, and then we got on to that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But anyway, like, I guess going back to that point, I was saying like, James Gunn, what he did isn't bad compared to what you heard Kevin Spacey did.
Yeah. And like what Kevin Spacey, they're two different animals for sure, you know? And you shouldn't, and what people were saying, and people were looking at it like James Gunn should be like fired immediately, and they're like, I think you shouldn't treat that, because James Gunn, he didn't sexually assault anyone, you know?
No,
he
didn't
advance on anyone. He just said some dumb jokes. And by the way, they're just jokes.
Yeah.
I know
everyone who's going to watch this or anything has said bad. I've said bad.
Yeah.
I've said really inappropriate and like racial jokes.
Okay.
Someone early.
How do you feel?
Never mind.
How do you feel about?
Okay.
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay. Go ahead.
How do you feel about people going back through like tons and tons of like data on Twitter to find different things on people?
There's like entire organizations that do that.
And then, so like, I don't know if you heard about this, or I don't know if you know her, but a singer named Doja Cat.
Is she 8? Never mind.
She.
I feel like isn't that like a K-pop singer or something like that?
I don't really know. But she had made a few tweets a long time ago that were a bit racial. Uh-huh. And people started calling her out about it after she got really big this year. And I know that's happened with a bunch of other people where they would have said something insensitive or not politically correct a long time ago. But since they're getting bigger now, people are calling them out about it, and they're getting all the repercussions now.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know what you mean.
Go ahead and finish up what you're saying, but go ahead.
I think like along with like with what he's saying, I think like number one, words. There's a line, jokes and stuff like that. Like, cause I said, and also he was saying like the organization you talked about, people who deliberately go out and seek to see some dirt on people, like flip it on.
There's like teams of people that do that.
I know, like I can say that I'm pretty sure those people who do that have in their lives said some like really really bad jokes.
No one is right. No one is perfect, you know what I mean?
Everybody said, like, so I think it's, like, hypocritical also to get on these people. Yeah. And, like, when it comes to jokes and stuff and saying, like, certain things, it's bad, it's wrong, but it's not terrible. Yeah. You know? Unless you're saying, you know, you say, I hate black people, but you say the N-word and you mean it. But that's a whole nother, that's a whole different thing, you know? But I think like they're trying to make it like I just think it's not that bad. Yeah. And like you said, like James Gunn, and I know Dave Bautista's also
really defended him.
He's supporting him.
And
they're going to try to flip that on him
side.
too.
Oh yeah.
They're going to try to make it look bad on his end, saying like he shouldn't support him.
All right. So we're going to be back in a little bit, guys. Coming up next, we're going to talk about maybe how long should like, I get it, like these celebrities, some of them, you know, they need to take a leave of absence. I think that needs to happen before, you know, they come back. So coming back, we're going to take a quick break. How long do you think these celebrities should wait it out? You know, how long do you think they need to be, I don't want to say punished, but just just so it dies down and then they can come back. Because Louis CK, he's a good comedian. You know, we don't want him to disappear. We don't want his career to be over, and neither does he. So how long should there be? How much time should there be? So when he can come back and it'd be okay for everyone for him to come back. So,
yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. See you guys in a bit.
All right, guys, and we're back. We took a little bit of a break.
It was more than 5 minutes. It was a couple hours.
It was a couple hours. We got something to eat, and then we just hung out over here at the house, and I don't know.
They don't need to know where we live.
Jam seshed. No, I'm not gonna tell them where you live. We don't want the fans coming here.
The address is
1234 West Sesame Street.
There you go.
Wow.
Shout out to Sesame Street.
Shout out.
Anyways,
Yeah, we're back.
So what were we talking about? We were talking about
we left
just
off talking
famous
about
people, celebrities in general. How long do you think they should be away? Like how long is that punishment for?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd say my opinion on that is I kind of think it's like more so the crime they did.
It depends on.
It depends.
I don't know
on
about a crime, but
not crime, but severity of like. Well, some of them are crimes.
Whatever. Some of them are crime. Whatever it is, whatever the situation.
It's like severity of what it is. For example, we were talking about James Gunn. What he did wasn't really that bad.
No.
It was some really in bad taste jokes and tweets and stuff. Harmless, really.
Yeah.
Not that. And then you go on the other spectrum and you have someone like Harvey Weinstein or Kevin Spacey. These like sexual predators. They like are in trouble. Like Loius CK too. He masturbated in front of a woman who didn't want to be masturbated in front of. So that's sexual assault. But see, for them, I think. I mean, at the same time, I can't say like. I think if people want to get rid of them permanently, I mean, really, you can't argue it because of what they did. Like, they did a terrible thing.
They did a terrible
but at the same time...
You can't ruin someone's life over it. Because, it's a mistake. I could see if you're a Harvey Weinstein and there has been so many women for the past 20
like an actual,
years,
like, predator.
and you're actually it's a continuous act. James Gunn did that 10 years ago.
And 10 years ago.
And
Harvey Weinstein was like raping women.
Yeah.
Whereas James Gunn was just saying a joke. So James Gunn, I think they're going away like too far with him.
But the way I'm looking at it is the fact that not only is James Gunn did it a long time ago, that he's not even continuously doing it. Like he did it back then.
It's a
and
one-time thing.
He was like, you know what? That's not me anymore. He's a different person.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
So.
And at the end of the day, that was a joke.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a joke.
It's just words. It's
just words.
And he's not racist. He's not sexist.
No,
none of that.
That's why that's the whole thing. That's why it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's because that you're not.
So I think like for him, they were too harsh on him.
Yeah.
Like kind of like elbowing him out to quit.
Yeah.
And then with that followed what's his name? Dave Bautista, I think his name is.
Yeah.
The one who plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He left because he was supporting James Gunn. He was saying what they're doing isn't.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
Did he leave Guardians?
He's done. He's done as he said. If they get rid of James Gunn, he quits and he's not going to be Drax anymore. So he's gone.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's gone. And another thing, I remember I saw on Instagram a clip. No, not really, but I saw there was like a thing they were talking about the new Guardians, or they were gonna go. Now they kind of halted it for the time being, but they were gonna make a new one, another Guardians. But this time Drax was. They didn't say Drax, but they said a character is going to be killed off. You'll never and then the whole joke was like. We all know who it's going to be. Because he's done. Dave Bautista, he went on Jimmy Kimmel, a couple other late night shows. Yeah. And Jimmy Kimmel was telling him, he's like, hey, this is a huge thing you're doing. Are you really going to do it?
Are you really going to follow through?
And Bautista, what's cool is he's really respectful about it. He just said, he's like, oh, I don't want to get into it, but he's all, I stated how I felt about the
Yeah,
situation,
the whole situation.
and I would personally, I'd have to agree with him. I don't think it's like they were things said in bad taste. They were jokes.
Yeah, they were really.
If he would have
really
like
bad
had
jokes,
molested someone or sexually assaulted someone or even harassed someone,
then yeah, there should be some kind of punishment towards that. Yeah.
But that goes back to, I think, severity of it. I think what he did isn't that severe. So
And like someone like and it almost shows almost a hypocrisy, especially on Disney's part, because Disney is owned by Marvel, and like, who do you forgive, and who you can't forgive, like for example, not Dwayne Johnson, Robert Downey Jr. He did drugs and he had a super bad track record, for a long time, for most of his life. He struggled
up until he
through
started
this.
being
Exactly, and he was a risk to bring onto Iron Man, regardless of what you think, because he had, I don't know, I feel like I hadn't seen him in something since, was it Chaplin? Because I know he did Charlie Chaplin in the 90s.
He was in Chaplin, and
what did he do
remember
before?
he did Sherlock after that.
Yeah, that was after Iron Man.
Yeah.
No.
But you're talking before Iron Man.
I'm talking before Iron Man.
When he was young.
When he was young, because he did some movies when he was young, and then he got into the substance abuse and all that, and then
he'd been doing
that really messed up.
He's been like a drug addict since he was.
Oh.
Did you ever hear like his life story?
I haven't. I just assumed like he was good, and then he got into that.
What happened was, number one, it all started because when he was first time he ever did drugs was when he was 6, and his father His father had him smoke weed with him. His dad was like a criminal drug addict, and he did all that stuff. So from Robert Downey Jr.'s childhood, he was like already by like time he was 6 and stuff like that, he was drinking and smoking already.
Wow. Okay.
So he started, and that just led to a terrible childhood. He was just like a drunk and like a drug addict and stuff like that. So that just followed him through his life, and I guess he tried to sober up, and he got in trouble and everything. And then when he started, because he's a good actor and everything, he started getting into acting and everything. But with that, still followed his drug addiction and alcoholism and stuff like that. And I think like in the 90s, he was getting popped for a lot of that. He would go to rehab, do rehab, get out, be all right, go right back to drugs, like relapse and everything.
Yeah.
And he did that, and I think they were saying like that when it came around to like definitely like Iron Man, like that time 2008, he cleaned up like fully. Yeah. And since then he hasn't. I think he's been like full sober since
I'm
then.
sure he's I don't doubt that at all. But like where do you draw the line? Like if Robert Downey Jr. gets a pass, why doesn't James Gunn gets a pass? Because we know that James Gunn is a completely. There's no way.
Yeah, he's he's a pretty much straight shooter guy.
Yeah, he's
not.
like just watching him in interviews and stuff like that. You wouldn't have think that guy would make those even tweets. He's not that. And he has even said it in interviews, or he tweeted out, "I'm not the same guy I was,
when he
10 years ago when he did that, when I made those tweets." And a lot has changed, a lot has happened for him. And so I would say that's huge hypocrisy on Disney part,
I'd say, I agree.
What we passed Robert Downey Jr. because he's Iron Man, and he's given us, a multi-billion-dollar franchise, Marvel.
He's a moneymaker for
him. Yeah, so he gets a slide, but someone like James Gunn, who
does something way less.
Way less, exactly.
It's jokes.
He didn't even exactly. They're jokes, and he made 10 years ago. And by the way, they brought it up again in 2012. I don't know if you remember this, but so I guess they brought it. I had read some news articles, and they said they had, I guess, someone else back in 2012. They found these tweets that James Gunn did, brought it to the press.
I heard a little something about that.
So so it was already addressed back in 2012. So Disney knew because James Gunn wasn't. He was hired in 2012 to do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
The first one,
Yeah. So Disney knew who they were signing on with back in 2012.
And
so
I think,
not only do we see him in one hypocrisy, but we see Disney in two, just completely, what are you doing? It's just.
And me, if I had to have like an explanation for that, because see, I didn't know that really, like the whole 2012 thing. What I think it is now, especially it has to do with like the times nowadays, which is a good thing. Nowadays, we're way more progressive towards hearing like victims and stuff, their stories.
And I think that's great.
And getting on people for like holding people accountable for their
awesome.
Like bad things they've said and done,
But
is true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like
where do we draw the line?
If Disney
when
really,
is it too much?
if Disney really cared,
Yeah.
which I mean, in my opinion, they're just a business looking to make money.
Yeah.
You know, they produce good stuff. They hire people to produce good things and like good movies and everything. But as a company, like you're saying, if they really did care and really did take offense and like don't stand for that, they would have done it back then. They would have done it back then. Oh, this guy, look what he's...
No, but since now all these women are coming out with the Harvey Weinstein thing, I think at this point they were like, you know what, that came back up again. They were just like, they jumped the gun on something that didn't even...
no pun intended.
They actually got more flack, I would say. They got more flack from firing James Gunn from Volume 3 than keeping him on. And
I think it was their... I think
they didn't stand by the director.
I think Disney was trying to like kind of save their own end.
Yeah.
Because I think they were probably number one. I think they're kind of bandwagoning with the current like how everyone is. Yeah. I'm gonna say bandwagoning. That's kind of mean, but I mean, you know, like I said, society's now about
riding the wave. They're trying to be safe, and I understand their side. They're trying to be safe, but at the same time, they would have lost nothing if they would have just waited it out, see what would have happened. How much flack did James Gunn receive? You know, maybe actually had a conversation with the public. You know, but they don't. They release one statement, and they don't even try to connect with the public, connect with, you know, what are other people thinking right now? You know, like, okay, if this person doesn't like it, then we just gotta kill it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just by trying to please everyone, you please no one, and I think that Disney finds themselves in this situation. Anyways, last thoughts on this, just celebrities in general, and how long do you think? Should be some time.
But going back, to that, like for example, in like James Gunn's case, like I said, he's an example off the top of my head where he doesn't deserve what he got. Yeah. Because I think it was like severe for what he did.
And I think it's okay for him to already do another project and do whatever, keep on doing your thing.
Yeah.
Keep on doing your thing. But I think when it comes to Loius CK, I think he needed to wait at least, a year or something, because he did it 3 months out of this whole thing that happened, or I think it was like 6 months or something. It wasn't even a year. It was like,
oh, his break, you mean?
You mean, he did that
being
thing
exposed to
recently,
to
2 weeks
taking a break
ago.
And then starting. He started.
I felt like that was too soon. I think he should have waited it out a little bit longer, and I get it. You get down in the dumps, and you need that, and that's probably all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
But maybe try to fall back on something else. I don't know. Try to find something that you're also interested in, and I don't know. I would have tried to find another outlet, a creative outlet. Just until you can your brand is better at this point.
Yeah, and another thing about him is. Another thing people had issues with was his apology.
Yeah, his apology.
His apology was very. I read it slightly a little bit, skimmed it, and I remember it was he just said, "Well, what happened was, he said I took my penis out and I started masturbating in front of her, and then he said, and she didn't want to be there, and he kind of forced. He did that twice, I think, with 2 women.
Yeah.
Or it was one time. I think he did it and they were both there, or one time where he did it to each of them, separately, whatever it was. Point is, he did that to these women. Yeah. And his apology was real, it wasn't what people really want to hear. People would want more of a full, sincere apology. His wasn't really seen as sincere. But I kind of looked at it as not to justify it at all, but Louis, if any of you who watch this know who Loius CK is or have seen his stand-up, his attitude and everything is very lax and doesn't care. Yeah. The way he is. That's just his personality, which I liked. I liked how and also that's how his comedy is. It's very straightforward and like simple but funny, you know, and like no BS, you know. So I think that's like his apology reflected how he is, you know, him saying just he's kind of like, well, I did it. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, but just not going to change it. It doesn't change anything. Which I do agree. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, but I think he should have been more considerate at this point. Like, at this.
Okay, so we had some technical difficulties, but we're back on track. So what I was saying is that I think in his apology he should have been more considerate, and that would have, in the end game, he could have been. It would have saved him more face. You know, it wouldn't. I don't know if it would have fixed all the problems that he had.
Yeah.
But it would have been better for him in the outcome, and it would have been better for everybody in the outcome. You know what I mean? If he would have just been a little more considerate and less defensive in his apology.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that because, like I was saying earlier, I think his apology was, like you said, it's more defensive and kind of, it wasn't really an apology.
Yeah.
As you would like it, you know. And, I mean, even though I feel that apologies are pretty, you know, I mean, once you've done...
It is what it is, yeah.
But at the same time, to certain people, that, like those women and everything, an apology is huge for them, you know, which I respect, you know. Like, you have something like that, you want to be apologized to.
Yeah.
You know, that means something to these people. So, I think, had he had done... I think he should have been a little more considerate and have like done a better apology, you know.
Oh yeah, I
But,
completely agree with you.
So with him, with all that being said, I think his absence, like you said, he should have, out of respect for the people, you know, like the people you hurt and stuff like that, he should have spent more time out.
Oh yeah, and like, and the amount of blowback he got from performing again from people was really, there was a lot of people that were like, this is not ready. Like, why is he doing this? You know, and like I understand where they're coming from, but then again, like how long do you expect a guy to be, you know, like that? You know, comedy is his life.
Yeah.
At that point, so that's how can you expect a man to be sane if he can't do what he's dying to do? So it's at that point, it for him, I see his side of the view. I see his point of view where he's like, I want to get back out there. I want to start doing it.
Yeah.
But I think
at the same time,
I don't know. He should have picked up crocheting or something like that. Where he could have.
And like I said, then you also have to take into account of what he did. He did a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah.
So at the same time, that's like, it's not really simple. It's not to me, it's not a yes or no thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At all. You have to take everything into account. But I would say myself personally, like taking into account what he did and everything.
Yeah.
I think he should have spent a lot more time, and I just think his, you know, maybe like, because I don't want to say he shouldn't come back to his career at all. You know, because like you said, I get what you're saying. That's not. But at the same time, it's kind of weird, you know.
It is kind of weird, yeah.
But I think it's more, it should be out of respect to the people. You should just hold off.
Just hold off, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think, like you said, I think he came in too quick, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I think on that.
Yeah.
Along with, same as, what's his name, Kevin Spacey, too.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
the same.
Yeah.
And
he just did a movie this past couple months. He did a movie called The Billionaire Boys Club. It tanked at the box office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another movie? I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
he did another movie. They ran the numbers on the movie, and it only made $114 or something like that.
Oh my god!
So they were doing the numbers. They were like, not even
that's like 10 tickets.
The friends of the family went to go see that. You know that took part in the movie went to go see this movie.
Yeah.
It was it 114 or was it like 700? It was under $1,000.
It was something
It was
low.
Yeah.
Solo was high.
So it was, it was.
But see, to me, that's just, I think that's correct for him.
Yeah.
Because he tried pedophilia. That's
not.
That's a no at all.
That's
like, that's terrible. not to say Louis is not bad, you know.
Yeah.
But if you were to, I think if you were to get a more severe one,
Yeah.
they're both terrible. I want to get that across. But messing with a 14-year-old boy,
That's way more severe.
that's terrible.
Way more severe.
So I think for Kevin Spacey wise, I think he should just call it.
I don't even know. Like,
I think he's done.
does it even come back at this
I don't
point?
think he should.
I don't even know.
Obviously, it's not going to work anymore. But also morally and out of respect,
I
for
really
that
like
dude,
him in Spacey. You know,
I love him. He's a great. I just watched.
He's so good.
I started watching House of Cards, the show he was on.
It's so good.
It's a great show. He's a great actor and everything, but
It's weird watching it at the same time thinking.
yeah, and see
that
that's
guy
another
was touching
that's another
kids.
thing. Like, I personally feel, I don't think it's bad for us to watch something they already produced years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think it's absolutely terrible to.
Well, for me, it's hard for me because like
That's in the back of your head.
that's in the back of my head. Like
Same
even
with me.
watching Last Jedi,
Yeah.
like watching Carrie. Is it Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
no,
she's dead.
She's dead. Yeah, she's
and
there.
I'm thinking about
That
it
the whole time, yeah.
you know, and it keeps on taking me out of the movie, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
For some reason. So
See, with it also makes me look at some of his roles.
yeah,
For example, he plays in House of Cards. He's like a gay man in it too, like closeted.
Yeah.
But in like certain seasons, he comes out as gay and everything, and like that's another. Not to say there's nothing wrong with being gay, you know. There's
no, yeah.
whatever, you know.
Whatever.
But now I'm starting to take into account, and his character's kind of weird in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you ever saw a movie. I think it's called American Beauty. Did you ever see that with
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey?
1999.
Now remember that. If you remember what happened in that movie, he's scheming on. He really likes his like 16-year-old cheerleader.
Yeah.
So now to think about his real how he is, and in that movie he gets kissed by his neighbor, his military sergeant neighbor who hates gays. You know,
Oh.
he kisses
yeah.
Kevin Spacey because he's gay. So now if you take into account knowing what we know now about Kevin Spacey and his roles, it's kind of weird. You know?
Yeah,
But
that's
at the
kinda
same
weird too,
time,
yeah.
he was a great actor, and he made just like Louis. Like, I think I'll continue watching his old comedy specials and his Louis
Oh, I
and
will
Lucky
too,
Louis,
yeah.
but I think supporting their new stuff after knowing what they've done,
It's gonna be hard.
it's gonna be hard
Yeah.
if it really isn't wrong. You know, me personally, I don't think I could like. I mean, if I would have been there at his most recent one,
Yeah.
and he would have shown up, if Louis would have shown up while I'm at that club and done stand up, I would have
Yeah.
stayed and watched.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
that would have been.
But morally,
Yeah.
if they were like, hey, Louis if he's promoting a show he's going to do in October, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't pay for it. Just like how Kevin Spacey's movie tanked. I
Yeah.
think that's appropriate for what he did and he's shown now who he is.
Yeah.
I think it's just like very complicated. But I think their older stuff that they've already done, I think we could still watch it. You know.
Yeah.
I
yeah, for
morally
sure.
I feel all right.
Yeah.
But like you said, I still think about
It's still in the back
what
of
they
your head
did.
the whole time.
You can't forget
Yeah,
that.
You can't
know?
forget
So
that. Yeah. But anyways, just wrapping up here. I hate to cut the podcast short here.
things is dying.
Yeah, we've got the microphones dying. Hopefully, I don't know. We don't really know what the podcast is yet. I want it to be something else, but maybe it should be something else. I don't really know what it is going to be about.
We're
yet.
figuring it out.
We're figuring things out, and then hopefully Angel would love to come back.
I would.
Hopefully.
I'll bless you guys with my presence. No, I'm
And
just
then
kidding.
hopefully next time Seth will be here.
Yeah.
And then we could have like a super really cool roundtable discussion about. I really like talking about controversial stuff. Even like we had this really fun debate in the last podcast. Okay, I will tell you off air. But anyways.
Anyway.
I'll see you guys in the next one. What are you supposed to say after?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to plug my.
Okay, yeah, there you go. You're
Supposed to plug my social medias. I don't care about Facebook. None of you guys need to follow me on Facebook.
Follow me on Facebook.
Only for friends. Don't friend me. Snapchat is, I don't really use it. It's a personal, it's for my family. So not really going to plug that. I might, I don't know. But definitely, if you really care, look at my Instagram. It's at Angel Cocio. That's COCIO. You're probably,
We'll put it in the description.
yeah, he'll do that.
I'll put it in the
And
description.
yeah, and I have a YouTube channel too. Same name. Well, no, I think
really?
it's Cosillo.
You gotta send me.
It's
the link.
Cosillo Blade Reviews, I think. I just review knives on YouTube. That's my other
If you
thing.
ever need help with that, I'm serious.
Okay.
Call me.
I'll do it. 'cause
Okay.
I film on my phone. So.
Like, look, we'll have the lights.
I know,
set up,
there's-
We'll get
it's
this like
set
this
up.
super cool
The full setup,
shots
you got a
with
microphone.
with the knives and stuff.
That'd be a huge help because I film with my phone, and that's
and
hard.
we could, if you have like a Blade podcast or something like
That'd be
that.
cool. Yeah.
Thomas could come on.
Angel and Thomas.
Yeah.
Angel and Tom.
All right, guys.
Anyway, thanks for having
that's how
me.
the idea concepts go, and that's how ideas are made.
That's how it happens, huh?
Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. My Instagram will be down in the description. Thomas, go ahead and plug yourself.
LegoTom728. That's LEGOTOM 728 on YouTube and Instagram. So be sure to go subscribe and follow me there.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Peace.